Chapter 4. Fasting in Ancient Civilizations. Fasting has been a part of human culture for as long as recorded history can trace. In ancient civilizations, fasting was practiced not only for religious and spiritual purposes, but also for its believed physical and medicinal benefits. From the Egyptians and Greeks to the Romans and beyond, fasting became a widely recognized method for purification, both of the body and the soul. These early societies laid the foundations for many fasting practices we still recognize today, blending spiritual reverence, healing, and philosophical inquiry. In ancient Egypt, fasting was deeply integrated into the spiritual and ritualistic fabric of society. The Egyptians believed that fasting allowed them to communicate more effectively with their gods and prepare themselves for the afterlife. Fasting was common among priests who were required to maintain physical and spiritual purity while serving in temples. Ritualistic fasting often accompanied the mummification process, both for the deceased and for those performing the rites. Abstaining from food was a symbolic act of cleansing, purifying the body to align it with the divine. The Egyptians believed that through fasting, individuals could prepare their bodies to enter the afterlife in a purified state, untainted by the excesses of the physical world. The influence of fasting can also be seen in ancient Greece, where it played a significant role in the pursuit of knowledge and enlightenment. For many Greek philosophers, fasting was more than a spiritual or physical practice. It was a tool for sharpening the mind and clarifying thought. Pythagoras, the renowned mathematician and philosopher, famously required his students to fast before they could be initiated into his school of thought. He believed that fasting improved mental clarity and opened the mind to higher levels of understanding. Pythagoras himself practiced extended fasts, which he credited for his ability to make profound intellectual breakthroughs. Similarly, Socrates and Plato advocated for the benefits of fasting, not only as a means of bodily purification, but as a way to free the mind from the distractions of the flesh, allowing one to focus on philosophical contemplation and the pursuit of truth. In addition to its intellectual applications, fasting in ancient Greece had strong religious connotations. The Eleusinian Mysteries, one of the most revered religious rites in the Greek world, involved fasting as a preparatory ritual. These mysteries, held annually in honor of the goddess Demeter, were secretive initiations that promised participants insights into the afterlife and the mysteries of existence. Participants would fast in the days leading up to the ceremonies, cleansing their bodies and minds to be fully present for the sacred rituals and experiences that followed. The Greeks saw fasting as a way to clear away worldly distractions and attune themselves to the divine energies of the universe. In ancient Rome, fasting also had both religious and medical applications. Roman priests, like their Greek and Egyptian counterparts, fasted as part of their religious duties. However, the Romans took a more pragmatic approach to fasting as well, seeing it as a means of restoring health and vitality. The Roman physician Galen, who followed the teachings of Hippocrates, recommended fasting for a variety of ailments. He believed that abstaining from food allowed the body to rest and heal, flushing out toxins and restoring balance to the humors, the four bodily fluids thought to govern health and disease. Galen's writings on fasting and diet influenced medical practice for centuries, laying the groundwork for later understandings of the relationship between diet, fasting, and health. Fasting was also present in the ancient Persian Empire, where it was practiced as part of the Zoroastrian faith. Zoroastrians, followers of one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions, believed in the importance of maintaining a balance between good and evil forces. Fasting was one of the methods used to purify the body and soul from evil influences. While Zoroastrians did not practice fasting in the same way as some other religious traditions, abstaining from food and indulgences was seen as a way to cleanse oneself and stay spiritually connected to Ahura Mazda, the supreme deity. In ancient India, fasting was central to Ayurvedic medicine and the spiritual practices of Hinduism, as discussed in the previous chapter. Ayurvedic texts from this era emphasize the role of fasting in detoxifying the body and balancing the doshas, or bodily energies. Ancient Indian sages and ascetics often engaged in prolonged fasts as part of their spiritual discipline, renouncing worldly pleasures to attain higher states of consciousness. Fasting was seen as a way to align oneself with the rhythms of the natural world, allowing for deeper meditation and spiritual growth. The Mesoamerican civilizations, including the Aztecs and Mayans, also practiced fasting as part of their religious and cultural rituals. For the Aztecs, fasting was often associated with the worship of gods like Huitzilopochtli and Quetzalcoatl, and it was seen as a way to make sacrifices to ensure the survival of their society. The Mayans, similarly, fasted before performing sacred rituals, believing that fasting would strengthen their prayers and make their offerings more acceptable to the gods. Fasting was seen as a way of achieving harmony between humans and the divine, ensuring that the gods would continue to bless their crops, their people, and their lands. Across these ancient civilizations, fasting was more than just a denial of food. It was a multi-faceted practice that engaged the body, mind, and spirit. Whether to seek enlightenment, prepare for sacred rituals, or heal the body, fasting was viewed as a transformative act that allowed individuals to transcend the physical realm and connect with the divine or with higher knowledge. These early civilizations laid the groundwork for many of the fasting practices that continue to be valued in both spiritual and health contexts today.